So you want to scale your Google local service ads to the point where you're getting 5 to 10 phone calls per day and beyond that? Well, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this. So if you're watching this, you've probably never ran Google local service ads before, or if you have, you're generating maybe 10 to 15 to 20 calls per month. I'm going to show you exactly how you can start to scale that up to start generating those 5 to 10 to 15 phone calls per day. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to jump in and we're going to look at this week. I can show you that we know what we're talking about. So 9 calls so far this week alone, July 22. We'll jump in. We're going to take a look at what last month looked like and then compare. Last month, we had 23 leads. Not bad at all. And this is very healthy. This is very scalable for a company. But obviously, if you want to go and grow and grow over time, you're going to want to start generating more phone calls, more leads, etc. So that was June. If we take a look at this month, so far we're at 35 leads. Very healthy top impression rate. I mean, they have great reviews. So, I mean, it helps a ton. But again, kind of a competitive area, but basically following best practices is what's going to bring this number up and then bring this number up. As long as the ad is getting good impressions, and this is usually above 55%, kind of 55 to 60%, you're going to be generating more calls and probably you can handle at times. And then obviously we'll just take a look at this week again. 9 leads today. Extremely happy with that. So the number one thing that we do with Google local service ads is following best practices. And Google doesn't necessarily publish that or talk about it too much. Maybe if you speak to Google LSA, their help support representative, that sort of thing, they'll be able to tell you. But what we found to be best practices are, number one, making sure that you're picking up the phone. Now, the importance in that is Google's algorithm is actually able to tell if you're picking up the phone or not. Obviously, if you've ran Google local service ads before, you know that there is a call recording feature. Google's actually aware if you're picking up the phone or not. And that impacts your rankings significantly and a lot more than you would think. We want to stay away from AI answering services, and we want a real person, whether that's you, the business owner, or your CSR, salesperson, etc., picking up the phone when that phone rings. And a big portion of that is making sure that your business hours in your LSA dashboard are listed as your actual service hours that you're available to pick up the phone. So that was number one. Make sure you're answering the phone when the phone's ringing. Number two, make sure you mark your leads. Now, what that can look like, so when you jump into your lead dashboard, this is either on your computer or this can potentially be on your phone if you're in the field and you're checking on your lead status and you have the Google Local Service Ads app. Looks very similar. If you've ran it before, you know what this looks like, very straightforward. So majority of your leads, pretty much 99.9% of the time when a phone call comes in, they're going to pop into this active tab here. Basically what you want to do as soon as the phone call comes in is you're going to want to mark the lead. Now, a lot of people will just leave the lead in the active tab, especially if it's one of those things where they requested a call back or they're going to call you back, that sort of thing. We don't really want that. We want to show Google that we're booking jobs, potentially completing them, or we just have a very fast speed to marking the lead. Basically what you can do is you basically just come in here. You have a couple different options. So number one, you have archive. Number two, you have mark book. So if it's one of those situations where it's on the phone, they have to talk to their spouse, they have to call back, something along those lines, mark it as booked. Just mark it as booked for the time being. Just simple, just upcoming, just select a date, maybe like a week out or something like that. But then make a note of it in your CRM. The reason we do that, again, it's helping Google's algorithm, especially if it is a good customer. And the call went well, it's just they weren't ready to close, they're ready to book that estimate on the phone. It's a good customer, just mark it as booked. If it's one of those things, they don't close, they don't like the price, something like that, just super simple, archive the lead, away you go. But I can't stress how important it is to make sure that you're marking the leads as soon as they come in. That, along with making sure that you're answering the phone and having those good conversations, helps your LSA ranking so much. So make sure those two things, number 1 and 2, are done. Number 3, generating your Google LSA reviews. Now, this looks a little bit different than your normal review link that you would send out from your Google Business Profile, GMB, GBP, whatever you call it. I'll show you exactly what this looks like. So when you jump into your LSA dashboard and you head over to the reviews tab on the left-hand side, you're going to see all the reviews that you've received, and then you're going to see ask for review. When you click on ask for review, you're going to see all the jobs that you have completed. Obviously, once you're marking the leads, it's marking as booked, then completed, etc. You're going to see all of those leads. Now, the difference is when you get a review from one of the customers that's completed a job through LSA, they're actually going to show up with a Google guaranteed review when somebody sees your ad, clicks on it, and they heads over to reviews. It's just going to be all the reviews that have the Google guaranteed badge, very similar to your ad. Now, not only does this look a lot better on the consumer factor, but I don't know if there's any hard science behind this or hard facts, but we've found that this helps your LSA ranking a ton when you're generating those Google guaranteed reviews as well. So it's as simple as just heading over to your reviews tab, going to ask for a review, and then sending out that link, and then obviously following up with that customer to make sure that they're completing that review. Those are 3 of the biggest best practices that you can follow for your Google LSA. Obviously, there's a few other things that you can follow, like making sure that you're adding pictures to your Google business profile, the LSA dashboard, updating the business bio inside of LSA, all of that. But 3 main things that I just covered are the most important things that really affect your LSA ranking. Now, just went over the best practices. Now I want to show you how we scale up the account so that we're able to generate those 9 phone calls in one day, like we did for a client. So what you'll want to do is you want to head over to your profile and budget section, and then you're going to want to click on the budget. And how we scale up the budget over time is when we start with a new account, we'll have it set as something small, $300-$400 a week, start to get those phone calls trickling in. And as the weeks go on, we actually look at the previous week and what the spend was. As an example, if we spent $300 the week prior, we're going to go in and we're going to set it for 3x what we spent the week before. So if we spent $300 a week before, we're going to set the budget to $900. What we've seen, this actually starts to generate more and more phone calls and then slowly starts to scale up over time. Because if you've ran local service ads before, or if you've heard of this, you go in, you set your budget to $10,000, Google's actually not really going to show you those ads. You have to set it to something realistic. So we set it to something realistic, and then we slowly start to build up over time, following that rule of 3x. And I mean exactly 3x. Like if you spend $567.43, times by 3, enter that budget, and away you go. And then you'll slowly start to ramp up the amount of phone calls. Obviously, this only works if you're following those LSA best practices I just went over to a T. Now, again, seems pretty simple, and it is. But doing this, making sure you're answering the phone, making sure you're marking leads, making sure you're generating reviews, and showing Google that you have a pulse, which ultimately this is what we're doing, we'll start to generate you those 9 phone call days, those 35 phone call months, and you will slowly start to scale up your LSA, and that in turn will slowly start to scale up your business. Now, I just want to make this quick video to anybody that was wondering how you can scale up your local service ads. I don't think that what we're doing is the only right way to do this. This is just what we have done in the past for multiple accounts that have worked, and I just wanted to share it with you. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. And if you're interested in working with me and my team, or potentially just wanting to learn a little bit more, I left our website down in the description below. Feel free to click on it, check out some of our case studies. We have links to other YouTube videos, other assets, other resources. Feel free to check that out. And if you want to reach out, click one of the links below in the description, and you'll be able to book a call with me or my co-founder. So again, thank you guys for watching. Much appreciated, and thank you.